So I'm fortunate to be with Nathaniel Blume again today, and we're going to talk a little bit of Prodigal Son and also see what he's up to. So I love the season two soundtrack, by the way.
Thank you. Good.
You're welcome. So probably episode 3 was one of my favorite ones. The
Awesome.
alma mater, yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
really well. And
I
then
got
episode
with
6 was the head case was the other one I really liked.
Yeah. They were all fun in that season.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, alma mater. I know. I think there's some of it on the soundtrack with the whistling.
Yep.
There was they had found something that was temped into the score when I got the first cut, and so since I whistle myself, I offered to kind of come up with a little motif that the actor would be whistling, and then just kind of incorporated it into the score throughout the episode as well. So that whistling that you hear it comes from a part of the score, actually.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like the part where he jumped in the pool too. That music was cool.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, that episode was shot really, really neat too.
So did you have another favorite episode of the season, or was there one that was your favorite, or no?
Yeah, what was my favorite one? I liked episode 2. Felt so different with the religious theme, and then he performs an exorcism at the end, which is it almost it plays kind of supernatural, which the show isn't it really in its true nature. And it's kind of neat how it walks that line of like, did he actually perform an exorcism, or did he maybe just heavily suggest that he was doing so, and it kind of worked in that situation? I don't know, but it was just fun to have that moment. And it was also a neat moment where he was kind of working with his dad, and one of his dad's accomplices, I guess, from behind bars. But I mean, that the whole season was really fun, and I just love how every episode kind of had its own world. And musically, I was able to sort of do something pretty different each episode, and there's still the typical sound of Prodigal Son that's in each episode, but with the inner story arcs for each episode, they kind of got to take on their own sound too.
I was just really sad when I heard that Prodigal got canceled. I felt bad for you guys. It's like, oh man.
Yeah. Everyone puts so much into the show. I mean, our hearts and souls are in it. And yeah, it was kind of crushing to get that news. But I think everyone on the show is really proud of the work that they were able to do.
It was a really good season, yes, for sure.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. So what else are you working on, or can you say anything about what's going on for you now? Or
I can say that I'm still working on The Flash.
Okay.
That's in season 8 right now, if you can believe it. And wow. And it just got renewed. Well, actually, I don't know if it's official, but news broke that a deal had been reached for the star Grant Gustin to do a season 9. So
okay.
I think it's all but official. It
right.
It seems like it's going to happen. But yeah, still missing Prodigal Son each day too.
Sure.
It's crazy. The fans on Twitter probably yourself included. I see stuff all the time about about Save Prodigal Son still. It would be amazing if a miracle happened one day.
It would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be cool if it was, but
even if it was like 5 years down the line and there was a reunion episode or something,
yeah.
that so many shows do, that'd be a lot of fun.
So I bet The Flash keeps you pretty busy too with doing music for that one.
Yes, it definitely does. And I co-write that one with Blake Neely. But it's still, it's a lot of work for us. The 5 episodes of this season have aired, and they did an Armageddon storyline. So it was all 5 episodes were kind of the same story arc. And we got to record all of them too. And it was kind of in a sweet spot of the pandemic, if you can call it that,
right.
to where recording had really picked up in Los Angeles, and and there was just a lot happening, and COVID protocols were still pretty strict. You have to take a test within a certain period of time before you start recording, and you're masked the whole time, except for wind players, of course. So, like the horns, trumpets, trombones, and tuba player, obviously they can't wear a mask and still play their instrument. So they, while they're playing, they can be maskless. But overall, I think everyone felt pretty safe at the time. And then Omicron happened, and now I think it's a little bit less safe again. But mostly everybody's vaccinated in that industry anyway, so it's things are still happening with strict protocols, but we were able to get a lot done back in November. We recorded 5 episodes just in a few days back then in November, and I think it turned out really great.
So how's the music different from Prodigal to The Flash? What's the like?
I mean, The Flash is definitely more superhero like,
right.
And I think The Flash is also a family storyline, I would say, although family kind of also encompasses friends. There's the team the Flash has, and they're kind of a closely knit family in and of themselves. So there's certainly a lot of emotional storylines, and then a lot of action, and I would say that it's more fantastical. So, and the music represents that. There's a lot of science and people with powers and things like that. So in that regard, it would differ from Prodigal Son, but musically, I think they're similar in a way in how they incorporate traditional orchestral instruments with maybe more modern sounding electronics and percussion and things like that. If we're talking real, specifics instrumentation wise, Prodigal Son was very string driven. There were a lot of strings and piano mixed with the electronic elements, and the Flash kind of incorporates the whole orchestra, the brass, the woodwinds, and even some more traditional percussion as well.
What's like the schedule turnaround for getting music done? Is it
pretty similar to Prodigal Son, where sometimes they can get ahead and we might have, I mean, for instance, we're just kind of starting the back half of the season right now,
Mhm.
and they had filmed some episodes. So we had, I think, about 3 weeks or so to do the first episode. And then time will get shorter and shorter as we get in, and it'll probably go back to the typical 1 week turnaround. And Flash definitely, yeah, I mean, I don't remember the exact minute counts throughout Prodigal Son, but definitely around 35 minutes of score or so. And Flash is at least, 35 minutes, 40 minutes per episode. So a week to turn that around is pretty quick, but
That's a lot. Yeah.
yeah, it is. And like I said, though, on Flash, I co-write that with
Right.
Blake. So it's not as much on each of our plates as if we were doing the show ourselves. And that's nice.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that season 9 is coming for you guys. That would be good.
Yeah. Yeah. That will be good.
Yeah. So anything else going on right now, or?
Nothing of note at the moment, but yeah.
Sure, you're keeping busy as it is.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
But well, I will say, not project wise, I just started teaching a class at my alma mater, Carnegie Mellon University. So
Oh, wow.
that's a new venture for me as well. But it's fun to kind of pass on what knowledge I have picked up in the last about 15 years or so, I guess, that I've been working in the industry. And at Carnegie Mellon, they don't have an official film music program like they do at USC, where I ended up. So it's fun to kind of be the only one teaching that subject to a school that for their composers, it's more of a traditional education in writing music for the concert stage, but I get to expose them to knowledge of what would they do if they were given the opportunity to write for a TV show or a film or a commercial or something like that, and kind of giving them the technical know-how to take their music and be able to deliver on a job if they actually were offered one. So it's fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You got any final thoughts or final comments?
No, I mean, I appreciate you reaching out. It's good to talk to you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to keep you too long. I didn't know how busy you were, but
no, I appreciate that. You're so kind. But no, I like to stop and talk as well. Otherwise I'm just sitting here by myself staring at my computer screen. So it's good.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Keep me posted on how things are going, and
Will do. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks, Nathaniel. We'll talk to you later.
All right, talk soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.